Nearly 3 out of 4 people aged 15 to 29 wake up every day believing that one wrong financial move could derail their entire lives. And yet we hand them a 4-year, $200,000 commitment at 17 years old. No financial literacy, no understanding of how interest compounds on debt, no concept of the opportunity cost that they're giving away. We call it a higher education. But is the system setting you up for failure? I spoke at Cornell University recently. I'm a Cornell alumnus and a former faculty member at the business school. And I told the students something that no one in the administration wanted to hear, but it was the truth. I'm Rob. This is the hostile takeover. The economy is dividing into winners and losers, and I don't want you getting stuck on the wrong side of that line. Financial literacy is freedom from the corporate 9-to-5 trap, and we're here to free you.
Let's just start off on the top line, right? A college degree is very important. You go back to 2010, it was 75%, 2013, 70%, 2019, 51%. Look at this number is now 35%. This looks a lot more like the number that we had in the late 1970s when it was 36%.
Nobody in education wants to talk about whether the benefits of college still exceed the costs, but Gen Z wants to have that conversation. And you know what? They deserve to be heard. It's that internal voice that's asking them whether the next 4 years of their life at college and the hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt is still worth it. I hear all sorts of insults and comments being tossed around by our boomer friends. Gen Z's lazy. Gen Z's scared. They should just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
You were born into a world where a union worker could raise 3 kids, have a house, take vacations, all the while his wife stayed home and you retired on a cushy pension. That world is no longer in existence, and you have no right to lecture Gen Z.
My name is your worst enemy. I'm your huckleberry, buddy.
Their accusations are a total load of crap. What Gen Z is feeling isn't fear, it's financial intuition. And you know what? The data is increasingly suggesting that Gen Z's instincts are correct. If this feeling sounds familiar to you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I also want you to know that it's never wrong to question the status quo or to question authority. That is how greatness happens, that is how change happens. But I also understand that it might be hard to articulate this feeling, especially in a compelling way when you're angry. So today, we're going to throw you some knowledge that can help you make an informed decision about college.
Brilliant.
Because the financial decisions that you make at 17 will have lasting effects on the life that you live in your 20s and beyond.
Let's crunch some numbers. Let's crunch some numbers.
Let me show you the numbers and the costs that no financial aid office in America wants you to see. Say you take out a loan for $43,000 at a 5.5% interest rate and a 10-year term. The monthly payment is going to be about $466. You make the monthly payment starting at the age of 22, goes for the 10 years, you pay it off fully at the age of 32. Now, had you not taken out the loan, had you not gone to college, you could have taken that $466 and invested it in, let's say, an index fund. That $466 at an 8% return, which is the average return of the market, would have turned into $855,000 by the time you were 65 years old. Wow. So the true cost of that $43,000 loan is not $43,000. Hell, it's not even the $58,000 in total payments that would include the interest. The true cost of that loan is $855,000.
Ouch!
That's the compound growth on the monthly payments that you couldn't make because the money was going to a loan servicer rather than into your index fund. But there's a second hidden cost. It's called the opportunity cost, and here's what it means in plain English. Think of it this way. You get invited to 2 parties on the same night. You only go to one, and you have an okay time. The next day, you find out that the other party was a total rager. You know that feeling of knowing that you missed something great? That's what an opportunity cost is. Every choice that you make closes a door. And the question is whether or not you knew what was behind that door before you made the choice. Remember, every time you choose to do one thing, by definition, you're choosing not to do something else. And that thing you didn't do has a certain value to it. And that value is known as the opportunity cost. So for the college decision, if instead of going to college at 18, you spent 4 years working, even let's say at a very modest income, and you invested some of that money, here's what it would look like. Let's say someone earning $35,000 a year age 18 invest just 15% of their income. If my math is correct, that's going to be $5,250 per year invested, or $437.50 per month. Assume that same 8% return, do it for the 4 years that he would have been in college, and then once they hit 22, they just leave it alone. Completely never touch it for another 43 years until they turn 65. Those small investments would have grown to $147,000 by age 65.
Let's crunch some numbers. Let's crunch some numbers. Let's crunch some numbers. Let's crunch some numbers.
Meanwhile, the college student spent the same 4 years accumulating $43,000 of debt, gaining zero investment runway, and losing 4 years of compounding on money that they could have been earning. So the difference between these two paths is slightly over $1 million by the time that person is 65. Meaning that the money that is saved from college and wisely invested at the age of 18 grows to over $1 million by the time that person is 65. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go to college. What it means is that you need to ask another question. And that question is whether the income from the job with the college degree will exceed the income of the job without the college degree plus $1 million. Now, that's an impossible, or at least a very tough number for colleges to hit in the AI age, and they know. Real quick, if this is landing for you and you want to learn how to become a millionaire on $6.67 a day, we have an amazing video that we just dropped doing that. I want you to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. I'm not selling anything. I'm not running a course. I'm just trying to get you and my son rich, smart, not quick.
It's a shameless plug. Shameless plug. Yeah, it's just a shameless plug. You know you wanna.
We don't bullshit here on the Takeover, and this video is not telling you not to go to college. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, go to college. You need the credentials. If you generally want the 4-year academic experience and you can do it without drowning in debt, go to college. That experience has value. What this video is telling you is that making a $200,000 financial decision at the age of 17 years old without understanding compounding interest, without understanding opportunity costs, without understanding the potential return on your investment is not informed consent. It is a one-way ticket to lifelong submission to a system that does not deserve your money or your loyalty. So what about the trade route? Welding, plumbing, electrical work, carpentry. It's all now being sold to Gen Z as the college alternative. And the earnings are real, the debt is lower, and the demand is genuine. But with everything, there are always risks, and I want you to know those too. Keep in mind that construction, electrical work, inspections all depend on new construction, new building activity. So when building slows and the economy cools, so does demand, and there may not be jobs available in these trades. The real answer, the one that nobody seems to be talking about or acknowledging, is that the path of college or trades matters less than the financial literacy that you carry into it. A plumber who understands compounding interest and invests $6.67 a day, starting at 18 years old, will retire a millionaire, no question. A lawyer with $200,000 in student loans who doesn't understand compounding interest may die broke. Bottom line, the credential is not the key to success. The financial literacy is the key. And that is exactly why this channel exists. Here are the two things I want you to walk away from this video with. First, before you sign anything, any loan documents, any enrollment agreements, go to a debt calculator, plug in the debt, plug in your starting age, and see what your money becomes at 8% over 40 years. You're going to be amazed. That number belongs in your decision, and nobody else is going to put it in there. It's up to you. 2, stop letting other people's feelings make your financial decisions for you. That guidance counselor has a placement rate to hit. That university has an endowment to fund. That financial aid office has applications to process on your back. None of these incentives are aligned with your bank account. Your instincts, that feeling that something doesn't add up, trust those instincts. The most powerful financial decision you will ever make is not whether or not you go to college. It's when you start letting your money work for you. Not the day you graduate, not the day you get the job, the day you open the IRA, the day you open the savings account, the day you start investing. My name is Rob. This is the Hostile Takeover. If you like what you saw, subscribe, hit the bell, get rich smart, not quick, and we will see you on the next episode.